In the rolling green fields of Oregon, a quiet revolution was brewing. Jay Park stood among his experimental beehives, his weathered hands carefully examining the intricate honeycomb structures. The morning mist hung low, obscuring the research facility's edges, creating an almost mystical atmosphere around his life's work. For years, Jay had been modifying bee genetic sequences, a passion that consumed his days and nights. Most scientists had laughed at his research, calling it impractical and impossible. But Jay knew something extraordinary was developing within these specialized hives. The bees moved differently. Their movements were more precise, their communication more complex. Each bee seemed to operate with an intelligence far beyond traditional honeybee behavior. Jay had introduced a series of carefully selected genetic modifications that enhanced their neural networks and metabolic processes. On this particular morning, something felt different. The nectar production was unprecedented. When Jay carefully extracted the first samples, he noticed an immediate difference. The liquid wasn't just golden, it shimmered with an almost metallic undertone. Its viscosity was unique, thick yet flowing, with a complexity that seemed to challenge basic understanding of liquid properties. Unbeknownst to Jay, high above Earth's atmosphere, a research vessel from the Galactic Exploration Coalition was conducting routine planetary scans. Their advanced sensors picked up an unusual molecular signature emanating from the Oregon Research Facility. Captain Kiro, a seasoned alien explorer with decades of planetary investigations, leaned closer to the scanning display. The molecular composition of the substance was unlike anything their databases had ever recorded. It didn't match any known agricultural product in the galactic archives. "Scan again," Kiro instructed his technical team. The rescan confirmed the initial readings. The substance was extraordinary, containing complex protein structures, unusual enzymatic compositions, and energy signatures that suggested potential medical and nutritional breakthrough. Back on the ground, Jay collected samples meticulously. Each drop was carefully sealed in specialized containment units. He had no idea that his modest research was about to change humanity's position in the universe. The bees continued their work, seemingly unaware of the potential impact of their unique nectar. Their modified genetic structure allowed them to process nutrients from plants in ways that defied conventional biological understanding. They were creating something more than just a sweet liquid. They were producing a substance that could potentially revolutionize multiple scientific disciplines. Jay's research facility was modest, a combination of advanced technology and traditional agricultural techniques. Solar panels powered sophisticated monitoring equipment, while classic wooden hive boxes housed the extraordinary bee colonies. The contrast between high-tech and traditional methods was a testament to Jay's innovative approach. As the morning progressed, Jay ran multiple tests: spectral analysis, molecular composition evaluation, and initial nutritional assessments all pointed to something remarkable. The nectar contained compounds that could potentially enhance cellular regeneration, boost immune responses, and provide sustained energy unlike any known natural substance. Little did Jay know that within hours, his life's work would attract the attention of not just scientific communities, but entire galactic civilizations. The humble bee farm in rural Oregon was about to become the most important agricultural site in human history. The first sample of nectar sat in a small glass container, reflecting the morning light. It looked innocent, golden, slightly thick, with a soft shimmer that suggested something extraordinary was waiting to be discovered. To the untrained eye, it was just another honey-like substance. But to those who understood its potential, it was the beginning of something monumental. Jay Park smiled, unaware that his years of dedication were about to change everything. The bees continued their work, buzzing quietly, producing their extraordinary nectar, a substance that would soon become the most prized delicacy in alien gastronomy. The discovery had begun. Humanity's unexpected journey into galactic significance was about to unfold, all starting with a few modified bees in the quiet fields of Oregon. The communication request arrived unexpectedly. A sleek metallic transmission signal pinged through Earth's diplomatic communication channels, requesting an immediate agricultural trade discussion. Hannah Kim, Earth's youngest agricultural diplomatic representative, found herself seated in a stark white conference room, her hands slightly trembling. 3 alien representatives entered, each distinctly different in physical appearance. Their translator devices hummed softly, converting complex galactic languages into comprehensible human speech. They seemed more curious than threatening, their multiple eyes focusing intently on the small glass container containing J. Park's Nectar sample. "We require detailed information about this substance," the lead alien representative stated. His voice carried a mechanical yet respectful tone. The room temperature seemed to drop several degrees as tension built. Hannah understood the significance of this moment. One wrong word could potentially destroy humanity's first meaningful interstellar trade opportunity. She carefully selected her response, knowing everything depended on her communication skills. "This is a specialized agricultural product," Hannah explained, her voice steady. "Produced through advanced genetic research and traditional beekeeping techniques." She slid the nectar sample across the table, watching their reactions carefully. The aliens examined the golden liquid, their sensory appendages moving in complex patterns. Advanced scanners integrated into their body systems began analyzing the nectar's molecular structure. Each scan revealed increasingly complex results that challenged their existing scientific understanding. One alien representative, smaller and more curious-looking, asked a surprising question. How did humans develop such a remarkable substance? The genuine curiosity in their voice suggested they viewed humans not as primitive beings, but as potential equals. Hannah explained Jay's research, detailing the genetic modifications and agricultural techniques. She spoke about human innovation, persistence, and the unexpected path scientific exploration could take. Her presentation transformed from a simple trade discussion into a cultural exchange. The diplomatic discussions continued for hours. Multiple alien civilizations began receiving encrypted transmissions about the extraordinary nectar. What started as a simple agricultural meeting was quickly becoming a galactic event. Trade negotiations became complex. Some alien representatives offered advanced technologies, while others proposed extensive resource exchanges. The nectar's potential medical, nutritional, and possibly even technological applications made it more valuable than traditional commodities. J. Park, watching the negotiations through secure video feeds, couldn't believe his research had generated such intense interest. His modest bee farm in Oregon was now the center of unprecedented interstellar attention. The lead alien representative made a formal proposal. They wanted exclusive distribution rights, promising humanity technological advancements and strategic, galactic partnerships. The offer was unprecedented. No previous human agricultural product had ever generated such immediate, comprehensive interest. Hannah understood the delicate balance. Accepting the proposal could elevate humanity's status, but it also carried significant risks. She needed to protect human interests while establishing a groundbreaking interstellar relationship. "We require collaborative research agreements," Hannah responded diplomatically. The nectar's development involves ongoing scientific exploration. Her statement subtly communicated that humanity would not be simply selling a product, but engaging in a comprehensive scientific partnership. The aliens appreciated her approach. Their communication protocols recognized diplomatic sophistication, a quality they hadn't expected from humans. What began as a trade discussion was transforming into a potential long-term interstellar collaboration. As discussions continued, news agencies worldwide began reporting the extraordinary event. Humanity was no longer just an isolated planetary civilization. Through a unique nectar produced by genetically modified bees, they were becoming a recognized galactic participant. J. Park watched the proceedings with a mixture of excitement and disbelief. His years of dedicated research, often mocked by traditional scientific communities, were now validated on an interstellar stage. The humble bee farmer from Oregon had inadvertently opened humanity's door to a much larger universe. The first contact wasn't about weapons or territorial conquests. It was about a simple agricultural product, a golden liquid that represented human creativity, scientific innovation, and unexpected potential. Humanity's journey into the galactic community had begun, one drop of nectar at a time. The first Galactic Culinary Championship shocked everyone. Chefs from 17 different alien civilizations gathered, their eyes fixed on the small golden container holding humanity's nectar. The competition transformed from a simple cooking event into a global spectacle watched by billions across multiple planetary systems. Master Chef Rico, a renowned alien culinary expert from the Centauri system, approached the nectar with scientific precision. His multiple appendages moved carefully, analyzing every molecular detail. The substance seemed to challenge everything he knew about flavor and nutrition. Competitors brought advanced cooking technologies, devices that could manipulate matter at atomic levels, create complex flavor combinations impossible for human chefs. But the nectar remained the ultimate challenge. Its complex molecular structure seemed to resist traditional culinary approaches. The first breakthrough came unexpectedly. A young human chef named Min discovered that slight temperature variations could unlock different flavor profiles within the nectar. What seemed like a simple agricultural product revealed layers of complexity that stunned the entire culinary world. Alien food critics began describing the nectar in ways that transcended traditional taste descriptions. They spoke of emotional responses, cellular memories, and sensory experiences that went beyond simple eating. The substance was becoming more than food. It was a cultural phenomenon. Research facilities worldwide started receiving thousands of culinary collaboration requests. Universities established specialized departments focusing on nectar-based gastronomy. What began as an agricultural product was transforming into a global scientific and cultural exploration. Restaurants across multiple planets began featuring nectar-based menus. Some charged astronomical prices for even a single drop. Wealthy clients would travel across star systems just to experience a meal incorporating the legendary human substance. Jay Park watched these developments with quiet amazement. His modest bee research had become a global culinary revolution. Scientists who once mocked his work now sought his guidance, understanding that he had created something extraordinary. Culinary techniques evolved rapidly. Chefs developed preservation methods, cooking techniques, and flavor combinations that highlighted the nectar's unique properties. Each approach revealed new dimensions of the substance's potential. The competition's final round became legendary. Chefs presented dishes that seemed to challenge the very understanding of food. Some created medical treatments, others developed complex nutritional supplements. The nectar was no longer just a flavor, it was a transformative ingredient. Alien. Food critics developed new language systems to describe the nectar's complexity. Traditional taste descriptors became inadequate. They spoke of sensory experiences that connected directly with cellular memories, emotional responses that transcended simple nutrition. Scientific teams worked alongside culinary experts. They discovered that the nectar could potentially modify cellular structures, enhance nutritional absorption, and provide unprecedented medical benefits. What started as a cooking competition became a multidisciplinary exploration. Governmental research centers became involved. They recognized that the nectar represented more than a culinary ingredient. It was a potential breakthrough in understanding nutritional science, cellular interactions, and cross-species biological responses. The championship's winner created a dish that seemed to defy scientific understanding. It was part meal, part medical treatment, part emotional experience. Judges reported experiences that went beyond traditional sensory responses. Memories, emotional connections, profound physiological changes. Hana Kim, watching the competition, understood the deeper implications. This was more than a culinary event. It was humanity's introduction to the galactic community, not through military might, but through an unexpected agricultural innovation. Smaller nations found unexpected opportunities. Countries with suitable agricultural conditions began developing specialized nectar production programs. What was once a niche agricultural research became a critical national strategy. The competition's broadcast reached billions across multiple planetary systems. Viewers watched in amazement as a simple substance from a small planet transformed culinary understanding. Humanity was no longer seen as a young, inexperienced civilization. As the final scores were announced, something remarkable happened. The competition stopped being about winning and became a celebration of scientific discovery. Chefs from different civilizations began sharing research, discussing collaborative possibilities. The Nectar had done what years of diplomatic negotiations could never achieve. It brought civilizations together, created unexpected connections, and proved that innovation could emerge from the most unexpected sources. A simple substance produced by genetically modified bees had become humanity's most powerful diplomatic and scientific instrument. The global landscape shifted dramatically after the Nectar's discovery. Nations that once competed now found themselves in complex diplomatic negotiations, all centered around a single agricultural product. Hana Kim stood at the center of this transformative moment, representing humanity's interests with calculated precision. Earth's United Nations headquarters became a fortress of diplomatic activity. Representatives from every continent gathered, understanding that the Nectar was more than just a commodity. It was humanity's ticket to galactic recognition. The first major challenge emerged when multiple alien civilizations began presenting increasingly complicated trade proposals. Some offered advanced medical technologies, while others proposed complex resource exchanges. The Nectar had become a diplomatic currency more valuable than any traditional monetary system. J. Park's research facility in Oregon transformed overnight. Once a quiet agricultural site, it was now protected by multiple international security agencies. Governments worldwide recognized that the bee farm was essentially a national treasure, perhaps the most important scientific location on the planet. Satellite monitoring systems tracked every movement around the research facility. Industrial espionage attempts became a constant threat. Alien civilizations sent sophisticated scanning vessels, hoping to understand the Nectar's production methods. Each attempt was carefully blocked by combined human intelligence agencies. The economic implications were staggering. Small agricultural nations suddenly found themselves with unprecedented global influence. Countries with advanced beekeeping technologies became strategic partners in nectar production. The global economic model was being rewritten by a substance produced by genetically modified bees. International scientific teams worked around the clock. They developed more efficient nectar production techniques, carefully guarding each breakthrough. The research wasn't just about agriculture anymore. It was about maintaining humanity's strategic advantage in an increasingly complex galactic marketplace. Diplomatic tensions began to rise. Some alien civilizations attempted to establish exclusive trade agreements, promising extraordinary technological exchanges. Others used more subtle approaches, offering cultural collaborations and scientific partnerships. Hana Kim became the primary negotiator, her skills tested daily. She understood that each diplomatic meeting was about more than trade. It was about positioning humanity as a respected galactic civilization. Her negotiations were calculated, strategic, and always focused on long-term human interests. The Nectar's potential medical applications added another layer of complexity. Preliminary research suggested it could potentially cure multiple diseases across different alien species. This made the substance not just an economic resource, but a potential humanitarian tool. Intelligence agencies worldwide developed complex monitoring systems. They tracked every scientific paper, every research development, and every potential technological exchange related to the nectar. The substance had become more valuable than rare metals or advanced weapons systems. Smaller nations found unexpected opportunities. Countries with suitable agricultural conditions began developing specialized beekeeping programs. Agricultural universities launched dedicated research departments focused on nectar production and genetic modification techniques. The global scientific community underwent a massive transformation. Research funding shifted dramatically, with governments investing billions into nectar-related technologies. What was once considered fringe research became a primary scientific focus. International trade routes were redesigned. Shipping companies developed specialized transportation methods to maintain the nectar's unique molecular structure during long-distance transportation. Each shipment was treated with the same care typically reserved for the most delicate diplomatic documents. J. Park watched these developments with a mixture of pride and disbelief. His years of dedicated research had transformed from a personal scientific passion into a global phenomenon. The quiet bee farmer from Oregon had inadvertently reshaped humanity's position in the universe. Alien diplomatic missions became a regular occurrence in major global cities. What was once considered science fiction had become a daily reality. Humans were no longer just observing galactic civilization, they were active participants. The nectar represented more than an agricultural product. It was a symbol of human potential, scientific innovation, and unexpected opportunity. Through a simple substance produced by modified bees, humanity had found its place in a much larger, more complex universe. As negotiations continued and scientific discoveries accumulated, one thing became clear: the world would never be the same again. The golden liquid from a small Oregon farm had become humanity's most powerful diplomatic instrument. 20 years after the initial discovery, humanity stood transformed. The small nectar project had become a civilization-defining moment. J. Park, now an elderly scientist, watched as his life's work reshaped human existence. Earth had changed dramatically. What was once a planet struggling with internal conflicts now stood as a respected galactic civilization. The nectar wasn't just a product anymore, it was humanity's passport to a larger universe. Massive research centers surrounded Jay's original Oregon facility. Thousands of scientists worked continuously, developing new nectar variations and exploring its extraordinary potential. The site had become a global landmark, visited by researchers from multiple alien civilizations. Alien diplomatic missions had become routine. Massive ships would arrive, carrying representatives eager to discuss nectar-related collaborations. Humans were no longer seen as a young, inexperienced species, but as innovative partners with unique capabilities. Medical breakthroughs came rapidly. The nectar's complex molecular structure helped cure diseases across multiple alien species. Some civilizations reported dramatic improvements in cellular regeneration, while others discovered unprecedented immune system enhancements. Hannah Kim, now a senior global diplomatic advisor, reflected on their journey. The golden liquid had done what years of political negotiations could never achieve. It brought different civilizations closer together. Conflicts that seemed impossible to resolve found unexpected solutions through scientific collaboration. The economic impact was revolutionary. Countries that historically had limited global influence now became critical players in the galactic trade network. Agricultural technologies developed around nectar production became more valuable than traditional industrial capabilities. Specialized universities emerged, focusing entirely on xenobiological research and advanced agricultural techniques. Students from across the galaxy competed for admission, wanting to understand the human approach to biological innovation. Jay's original bee colonies had been carefully preserved, becoming almost mythical in scientific circles. Their genetic structure was studied, analyzed, and respected as a turning point in biological research. What started as a quiet experiment had become a foundation for multiple scientific disciplines. Technological exchanges accelerated. Alien civilizations offered advanced systems in return for nectar research collaborations. Humanity's scientific approach, combining traditional methods with innovative genetic research, became a respected model across the galaxy. Space exploration received unprecedented funding. The nectar's discovery had proven that unexpected innovations could emerge from the most unlikely sources. Governments and private organizations invested heavily in research programs, believing that the next breakthrough could come from anywhere. Cultural exchanges became common. Alien chefs developed entire culinary traditions around the nectar. Restaurants across multiple planets featured human-inspired dishes, celebrating the substance that had transformed interstellar relationships. The original research team, now mostly retired, watched their work's impact with a sense of wonder. They had never imagined that a project focused on bee genetics would reshape human civilization's trajectory. Medical facilities worldwide integrated nectar-based treatments. Patients received therapies that were once considered impossible. The substance's ability to enhance cellular regeneration offered hope for previously untreatable conditions. Diplomatic protocols evolved. Negotiations were no longer solely about economic exchanges, but about collaborative scientific exploration. Humanity had proven that innovation could be a powerful diplomatic instrument. Jay Park, in his final public interview, spoke simply. "We didn't set out to change the world," he said. "We just wanted to understand how bees could work differently." His modest statement captured the essence of human scientific curiosity. The nectar represented more than a scientific achievement. It symbolized humanity's potential to surprise, to innovate, and to connect with something larger than themselves. A simple agricultural product had become a bridge between civilizations. As interstellar communications continued and scientific collaborations expanded, humanity's position was clear. No longer viewed as a young, unimportant species, they were recognized as innovative partners with the potential to transform understanding. The golden liquid from a quiet Oregon farm had done what generations of politicians, diplomats, and leaders could never achieve. It had united civilizations, opened new scientific frontiers, and proven that unexpected potential can emerge from the most humble beginnings. Humanity had arrived on the galactic stage, not through conquest, but through a remarkable substance produced by carefully modified bees.